will receive. Jeff Seidner and back deep with Vaughn Hebron. Off the 1-inch tee from the 30, and D'Aloiso kicks it deep into the end zone. It'll be a touchback, and the Eagles will start from the 20-yard line. Randall Cunningham looking to stay healthy. He is the #1 weapon on this Eagles team, and a 10-year veteran, and he says time may be running out. These starting lineups are brought to you by Zima. Up front, Bernard Williams, the #1 pick from Georgia. Antone Davis, David Alexander, the veteran center. Lester Holmes and Broderick Thompson, the right tackle. Herschel Walker and James Joseph are the running backs. Fred Barnett and Calvin Williams, the wide receivers. And Mark Bavaro, the former Giant, at tight end. On the first play, Herschel Walker trying to test the right side. And he picks up about 4 yards. So Herschel Walker, the big weapon last year for the Eagles. The Giant defensive line, they've gone to the 4-3 with Michael Strahan, Eric Howard, Mike Fox, and Keith Hamilton. Corey Miller. Corey Widmer, the middle linebacker, beat out Carlton Bailey this week. And Michael Brooks, Raymond, Campbell, Williams, and Sparks in the secondary. 2nd down and 6 on the 24. Play action. And the pass to Joseph out of the backfield. And he is wrestled down near the sticks, close to a first down by Jesse Campbell, the former Eagle and Giant free safety.
Now, the thing about the Giants this year that's changed from years past is right now the Giant defense is a question mark. Usually this has been a defense that's been dominated by linebackers, and right now the linebackers are the biggest concern of this defense. If they're going to play well today, Corey Widmer in the middle is going to have to play well. And Bailey, Brooks rather, on the outside is really going to have to make a lot of plays.
There are 3 tight ends for the Eagles on 3rd and 1 at the 29, and Cunningham on the quarterback sneak appears to have the first down. And the one thing the Giants sorely need from someone, somewhere, Matt, is a pass rusher.
And they need a pass rusher, but what they really need, Dick, besides a pass rusher, is leadership. And the guy they're really counting on for the leadership defensively is Michael Brooks. Now, this change was made by the Giant defense. As we get a penalty against the Giants, but the change was made on the Giant defense for 94 Michael Brooks. And it wasn't a case that Bailey wasn't playing well. It's just that Brooks inside had to be put in a position to make the most plays, since Dan Reeves and his staff believe Brooks is the best player on their field.
The offsides penalty against the Giants declined, and it's a first down on the 34-yard line. Cunningham with a play fake again, and he's got Calvin Williams downfield into Giant territory, and a first down. Randall Cunningham hits the pass to Calvin Williams. Jarvis Williams, the strong safety, making the tackle, and a pickup of 18 yards.
Speaking with Richie Kotite, the one thing that they said they were going to do was really go early after a lot of play-action pass. And what they wanted to try to take advantage of was the secondary coming up and holding, and also the linebacker switch inside, which would allow a separation between the linebackers and the secondary and make catches like Williams there easy to do.
First down in Giant territory at the 47-yard line, and here is Walker, and he's tackled. May get back to the line of scrimmage. And good penetration there by Keith Hamilton.
And Hamilton's one of those guys, Dick, that they were talking about that had to emerge also. Now, last year, he had a lot of sacks. This year, he held out. He came in a little overweight. You know, they listed him there at 290. He came in at about 310. They wanted him to drop. Really hasn't played well through the preseason, but they'll need big plays like that out of him if they're going to perform well.
Hamilton and Fox, pretty strong run blockers on the left side for the Giants. 2nd down and 10. Cunningham has protection. He's going downfield, and the pass to Calvin Williams nearly caught and dropped, and good persistence down there by Corey Raymond, the cornerback, who stayed with Williams all the way, but Calvin really made an outstanding catch.
Now, Calvin Williams knows he has man-to-man. The Giants came with a blitz inside. Raymond stays on the outside, knows where his help is coming from the inside. You see it show up there. Williams goes up for the circus catch, but well defensed.
Giants have their nickel package in, including Jesse Armstead, number 98, 3rd down and 10. Herschel Walker at the top of your screen goes in motion. Cunningham has room to run, but he flips it to Walker, who can't hold on. The Eagles would have had a 1st down had Herschel Walker held on to that pass, and that'll bring up 4th down.
I think that's a good series for the Philadelphia Eagles. They come out, they take the kickoff, they move down, and now they'll be able to pin them back and watch their defense work. But the blocking up front was good in all the pass block, and that's got to be encouraging because through preseason they've not been good protecting the passer.
David Meggett, who's a threat back deep for the Giants, and rookie Mitch Berger for the Eagles, now taking over since Jeff Fiegels has gone on to Arizona. And they want that kick to stay inside the 20, which it will, and a fair catch by Meggett. So the field position for the Eagles side of things is good. That was a 36-yard kick. And the Giants will go on offense for the first time inside their 15 when we return. Giants Stadium. Giants go on offense with their rookie quarterback Dave Brown, and will start from their 12-yard line. The one running back is Hampton. They have the H-back, Aaron Pierce, and the tight end in Howard Cross. Chris Callaway in motion, and the give is to Hampton, and he finds some room off the left side, and Rodney Hampton, 1,000-yard rusher, brings it out to the 19 and a gain of 6. So Dave Brown, who grew up in Westfield, New Jersey, just 20 minutes from Giant Stadium, but couldn't get tickets to see the Giants play when he was a kid. 6'5", starting his first NFL regular season game. Up front, John Elliott, William Roberts, Brian Williams, Lance Smith, and Doug Riesenberg. Hampton and Rashid, the fullback. Sherrard and Callaway, the receivers, and Cross, the tight end. 2nd down and 4. And Hampton is tackled and is shy of the 20-yard line by William Thomas, and a gain of only 1. The Eagles defense and a lot of new faces for the Philadelphia group, particularly up front. Greg Townsend, former Raider. William Perry, of course, the Fridge, you remember. Andy Harmon, who's a mainstay now, and William Fuller, who came over from Houston. Bill Romanowski, the ex-Niner. Byron Evans in the middle, and William Thomas outside. Mark McMillan and Eric Allen are the cornerbacks, and Greg Jackson and Michael Zordich are the safeties.
There's Eric Allen. That's the leader of that Eagle defense.
3rd down and 3 on the 19. Out of the shotgun goes Brown. Brown has time, and the pass is caught, and it is a 1st down. And it's the rookie, Thomas Lewis. And people were wondering when he would get in there. He got in there in a hurry, and a gain of 9 yards to the #1 draft pick.
Oh, this is exactly what Brown was going to see. So he's going to get all the people walking up the line of scrimmage, trying to fake the blitz. Now they're going to walk out. Now Brown knows exactly where he's going, and that's a big, big step. Has Townsend in his face, knows where he wants to go with the ball. 1st down.
Dan Reeves, who brought the Giants to the playoffs a year ago, said he'd be happy with 9-7 this year, and he thinks that would be a wild card. 1st down on the 28. 2 tight ends, play fake, and Brown's pass is intercepted. And it's McMillan. Mark McMillan intercepts for the Eagles inside the Giant 40-yard line. Howard Cross making the stop, and the Eagles take advantage and get the first turnover of the game.
Well, McMillan did exactly what the Eagles defense hoped that they could do, and that was read the patterns. Now Brown is reading this defense. He knows where his receivers are going to be. Well, on the other side of the ball, McMillan is reading that offense, and he's reading those patterns that the receivers are running. They ran exactly what he thought they would do. He just jumped that pattern. Well played by McMillan.
And Bud Carson is going to have the Eagles in Brown's face all day. Pass was intended for Sherrard, and the Eagles have a 1st down on the Giant 37. Play fake to Walker. And the pass to Hebron out of the backfield, and he's wrestled down by 2 Giants after a gain of a couple. 2-yard pickup.
Von Hebron really figures to be a big player in this offense this year. Now, last year, Hebron showed up in his rookie year. He weighed about 190 or so. This year, he came back about 205, stronger, still retained the quickness. He's got a little electricity and magic that the Eagles need back there in that backfield.
Randall said he's been a hard worker at camp, and it showed. 2nd down and 8. Here's Hebron, finds an opening off the right side and gets inside the 29. Short of a first down by a yard or two. Pickup of 6 by Hebron, and Jarvis Williams, the former Miami Dolphin, in on the stop.
Well, I talked about a little bit of that magic that Hebron has. You're going to see it. Once he gets into the hole, now let his eyes work, take his feet. Right there. See that little bounce in, bounce out. And now lower your shoulder at the end. See, the good thing that running backs do, the good running back will finish the run. Hebron's learned to do that in the year.
He was their leading rusher in preseason. Herschel Walker lines up at the top now, wide to the left on 3rd and 2. And there's Hebron, and Hebron's knocked back.
Oh, nice
and
shot.
The Giant middle defense stuffs Hebron back. And we may have 4th and inches. Corey Widmer, who is in the middle for many reasons, and he's starting his first game, gives him a lot of weight with a fine play.
Yeah, well, that's the main reason that they put Widmer there. You're going to watch him right here, number 90. Now, they brought him in there because he's really the only backer they have with size. Now, be patient, see the hole, attack it. Get your head up, boom, run right through it. Very well played by Widmer. This was a big question mark for the Giants today, if Widmer could hold up inside.
And a lot of people are of the opinion that Carlton Bailey may end up playing half the game anyway. They measure, and they are short by a yard. So, decision time here for Rich Kotite. And if he tries the field goal, you know the new rule. If you miss, you go back to where the kick is missed from.
Remember last night we talked with Kotite. He hated this. This is the one rule change that really was driving him nuts. He said, you know, I'm going to go for it on 4th down a lot more now.
He's going for it here. He's got Maurice Johnson and Bavaro, 2 tight ends on 4th and 1 from the Giant 28. And the handoff is to Hebron, and he's thrown back, and the Giants hold. Jarvis Williams and Corey Widmer combined to stop the Eagles on 4th and 1, and the Giants will take over on down.
Well, they're excited. Earl Leggett, the defensive line coach, had his guys getting good penetration, and then it was just a matter of the linebackers reading the key. The Eagles came back and did one thing that I don't like. They came out in a one-back set, and that tells everybody the only guy who can get the ball is behind him. Now you just follow him. Hamilton really makes the play, screws everything else underneath, and then Brooks comes up, Widmer's there, Williams is there. Well played Giant defense.
So the Eagles cannot take advantage of that turnover, and the Giants have it on their 28-yard line. On first down, Dave Brown with plenty of time drills it, and is it caught? Howard Cross makes the reception beyond the 40-yard line, and it's a Giant first down.
Boy, I like that. You know, you have a young quarterback making a first start, and he throws an interception. The first thing you do, you come back and you set him up in the pocket. You give him a simple pattern. You look for Cross on the out. The ball's thrown. Now let's see if it's incomplete or complete. Well, it looks like they're going to rule it incomplete. They have 2nd down. That looked like it could have been a catch to me. Looks like it could have been a catch to Reeves, too.
But it'll be an incomplete pass. I'll tell you what, Brown, though, hung in there in the pocket. 7:34 remaining in the first quarter. No score. 2nd down and 10. And the give is to Rodney Hampton, who gets to the 30-yard line. And the stop is made by the fridge, William Perry, in a gain of 2.
You know, last year with this Eagle defense, they had problems inside stopping the run. Well, they went out and they got the fridge. And I got to tell you, watching Fridge through the preseason, it looks like Fridge got his winter coat on early this year. 335. What he's done is really solidified the middle, and he's really helped Andy Harmon become a better player.
3rd down and 8 at the 30-yard line. The Eagles expect pass, of course, out of the shotgun, and so Perry goes out of the game. Brown's pass, and it's going to be caught by Mike Sherrard, and he is out of bounds. And a first down for the Giants right near midfield. McMillan on the tackle, a gain of 19 yards, but Dave Brown is getting outstanding protection back there.
Very good protection, and he's gaining confidence. I really like the fact that they came out and threw right again after that interception. Now look, they're going to go with man-to-man defense, and they're going to bring 5 people up front. Brown stands in there the whole time. Great protection. Finds the open receiver for a first down.
On the Giants side of midfield. Here is Kenyon Rashid, who gets to midfield in a gain of 1. William Perry back in the game makes the tackle. So Kenyon Rashid, who is really the only fullback listed today with the rookie Gary Downs inactive. Rashid won the job, and Jared Bunch, who was a #1 pick a couple of years ago, was released.
Yeah, it's funny because when I spoke with Reeves about it, I said, so Rashid is that much better of a blocker than Bunch? No, not at all. You know, he said Bunch is a more talented player, but Rashid is a better player because he wants to be.
Bunch spent too much time in the trainer's room. 2nd and 9. A play action pass for Brown. He gets hit. And it was Bill Romanowski, the former 49er, who came storming in, and an incompleted pass. And right now, for a McDonald's game break, let's return to James Brown in our Hollywood studio.
All right, Dick, the Bears were the worst offensive team in the league last year. Eric Kramer wants to change that. An 11-yard strike to Chris Gedney. Bears on top 7-0 first quarter. That, the opening drive. Back to Dick.
We saw the Bears last week.
I'm very impressed with what they did through free agency, and they finally got themselves an offense. I think we're going to have to keep a close eye on the Bears to do something this year.
3rd down and 9 at midfield. 4 wideouts for the Giants. Again, Brown has time, but it's running out. And he is down back on the 42-yard line, and a loss of about 8 yards. Andy Harmon, but that was a coverage sack for the Philadelphia Eagles, and the first sack of the game.
Good job right there by the defensive secondary and also Andy Harmon. Andy Harmon really has emerged as one of the players that the Eagles have to count on. And what he does well is never quit. The guy, he just has a great motor, keeps going and going and going.
Mike Horan, who spent his first 2 years in an Eagle uniform, will be kicking, and Jeff Seidner coming back from serious knee surgery back for the Eagles. And it bounces at the 22, and Seidner loses it. The Giants have it. Dave Meggett. And the Giants get their first turnover. Dave Meggett recovers.
Seidner tries to take a chance. He knows the guy's in his face, but I got to tell you, that bounce, you got to want that thing bounce, and once it goes in the air, Seidner tries a pretty gutsy move, and it backfired on him.
Willie Beeman got downfield in a hurry and collided after Seidner started to run, and he is getting a lecture from Rich Kotite. So the Giants have the ball just outside the 20-yard line. No score with 5:02 remaining in the first quarter. And the Giants take advantage of a turnover the Eagles could not earlier. Callaway in motion and an end around. Callaway with a fake down the sideline, stays in bounds and does not get over. Callaway gets to the 1-yard line on an end around, and a nifty bit of running by Chris Callaway.
Great running by Callaway. You know, Callaway did great right there. He waited for his blocks to develop. He came around. Reeves, I think, saw Townsend biting down inside hard, so he takes advantage with it. See, Townsend comes in. Now watch Callaway right here with Williams. Wait, let that rear end get in front of you. Block for me. Now get right down the sideline, cut back inside. Very well done.
And I think the Fridge got there. First and goal at the 1-yard line. And the pitch is to Rodney Hampton. Hampton doesn't get over, and what a crunching stop that time by Britt Hager.
Very well played by Hager. Now, what they know, again, this is short yardage goal line defense. You kind of know where the ball's going to go just because of the set of the backfield. And all Hager does is take a good angle from inside out and just run right through that. You got to remember, Hampton's a big, big guy. That's a great collision.
Did we talk about intensity between the Eagles and Giants? Second and goal at the 1. And Hampton this time gets over for the touchdown. Rodney Hampton gives the Giants the lead, taking advantage of a turnover here in the first quarter.
Hampton, you know, is going to get the football. It's just a matter of following his lead blocker and getting there. But the thing you can't count on is the fact that he's a big, strong man, and when he gets there, it's with some force.
Jeff Treadwell, who was re-signed after he was cut earlier, makes good on the extra point. And with 3 minutes and 45 seconds remaining in the first quarter, the Giants, taking advantage of a turnover, have taken a 7-0 lead on Rodney Hampton's touchdown run. Eagles 7-0. Rodney Hampton with the touchdown run, taking advantage of that fumbled punt. Took only 3 plays and 21 yards. Jeff Seidner with the referee Larry Nemmers. He'll be back there along with Vaughn Hebron as Brad Deluiso prepares to kick off for the Giants. Each team has turned it over, but the Giants were able to take advantage, and that's been the difference. Low end over end, but a deep kick, and it's going to be Seidner, 4 yards in the end zone. A Giant got a hand on him, and an outstanding return by Jeff Seidner beyond the 30-yard line, and the tackle is made by Chris Callaway. 36-yard return. So the Giants lead 7-0. Eagles go on offense, and Matt and I will return to Giant Stadium after this. Along with Matt Millen, this is Dick Stockton here at Giant Stadium. First quarter of the opening game of the year, and the Giants lead the Philadelphia Eagles 7-0. Carlton Bailey is in the lineup right now for the Giants, and Corey Widmer goes out. So Bailey's in the game now. First down on the 31 for Philadelphia. Vaughn Hebron on the give. Penalty flag is down, and Hebron gets out to the 35-yard line where Bailey makes the tackle, a pickup of 4, and it'll be a holding penalty against the Eagles.
Bailey walked himself up into the line of scrimmage right over Lester Holmes.
Holding, offense, number 78, 10 yards, repeat, first down.
Anton Davis, who had his position changed from right tackle to left guard. One of the many changes for Philadelphia up front.
Yeah, one of the problems with that switch is he still plays it like a tackle. You're going to see him right up here. That's Anton Davis right there, and he's working over Eric Howard, and he just gets the hook on him right there.
First and 20 now at the 21. Davis, one of the 3 former number 1s on the offensive line for the Eagles. Split backs and 2 receivers. Mike Fox jumped, and he feels that he was drawn offside by the right side of the Philadelphia line.
You know, you can have all the rule changes that you want, but as soon as the flag goes down, that point throw breaks out. I didn't do it. He did it. He did it, not me. You over there.
False start prior to the snap. 76 offense, 5 yards, still first down.
That's Broderick Thompson, who of course was in the middle of the swirl of Jeffrey Lurie's pay cuts to get under the salary cap, and a lot of furor that caused a lot of headaches for Rich Kotite earlier this week.
Yeah, I think it caused a lot of headlines in the week, but right now it doesn't matter. The last thing that's on Thompson's mind is a salary pay cut.
First down and 25 now with Walker in motion wide left. Directing the receivers is Cunningham. He doesn't have anywhere to go, and he finally falls down at the 24. Carlton Bailey was with him all the way, and the Giants doing a good job downfield.
Well, right there is something that's got to please Dan Reeves and his staff. Now, he said all through preseason, we've not had any coverage sacks. We've not had good coverage. We got young safeties. We have corners who've been in and out. He said, I was really looking forward to this game because I want to watch our secondary improve.
You're right. They don't have Collins and Guyton and Perry Williams and Greg Jackson, who's now playing for the Eagles. They've got to grow up in a hurry. 2nd and 17. And the give is to Hebron. I think as the year goes on, you're going to see Hebron become the chief ball carrier for the Eagles. A gain of 7 yards. And Tackle is made by Jarvis Williams.
Yeah, well, the guy who was guilty before the hold, Anton Davis, now gives him a big block. And this is one of the reasons why Hebron is going to be tough. It's hard to see behind that rear end. Look at the size of that guy. You just get right in there. Now find the hole with that little magic he has and get up the field.
3rd down and 11. And 4 wide receivers for Randall Cunningham. Cunningham with time, and his pass intended for Williams, but he couldn't control it, and it goes out of bounds. Cunningham did a good job of getting it over the Giant defenders, but unable to maintain possession with Williams, and that'll bring up 4th down. Willie Beeman amongst the coverage men for the Giants.
Well, 2 questions that the Giants had with their defense. Is our secondary going to be able to hold up, and are our linebackers going to be a strength? Well, so far through the first quarter of this game, question number 1 is answered because their secondary is playing very well.
Mitch Berger with his second kick. It is a short kick, and Dave Meggett on the run. At the 32's got a head of steam going. Dave Meggett with only the kicker to beat. Bounces off Berger and scores.
Special teams we knew would be a big plus this year in the National Football League with the rule changes. But hey, Dave Meggett brings something to the dance that nobody can bring. And that's, he's got a lot of guts. He knows and understands how everything's set up in front of him. And then the guy just can make people miss. Watch, there's a great block to get this whole thing going on Kenny Rose. See him miss. Now watch, Meggett in the open field. Make one man miss. Take it inside then outside.
And Treadwell's extra point is good. A 68-yard punt return by David Meggett. And the Giants lead the Eagles 14-0. Seems the story for the New York Giants here in the first quarter as they lead the Eagles now 14-0. Meggett with his 5th career punt return for a touchdown. 68 yards with 1 minute and 6 seconds remaining in the opening quarter. Cunningham waiting to go to work again, and Brad Daloiso will be kicking off. Big block by Armstead on that return. Seidner and Hebron are back deep for the Eagles. Another low kick. And it's Seidner at the 10-yard line. And ridden down just short of the 25. And making the play was Marcus Buckley for the Giants.
Well, Dave Meggett takes this on the bounce. And now he knows where he wants to go. He knows where everything's set, but he's really in it right there. See that? That's a nice block right there by Jesse Armstead on Oden. And that opens the whole thing up. He gets down the sideline. And look, this is what you can't teach right here. See, slow down, get back inside. The guy doesn't go on. Of course, you know, he beat a kicker. Then what you should do is go out and beat the kicker for missing the tackle.
He tried, though. He didn't run away. First down at the 24-yard line. You're not impressed with that?
No.
But he hung in there. Cunningham on play action. Going up top to Maurice Johnson. Penalty marker down, and Johnson makes the catch at the 45-yard line, but there's a flag.
Well, one thing for sure, Dick. Any question about the status of his throwing elbow, Cunningham's throwing elbow, has been erased because he's humming the ball out there.
I don't even think it was tight like it was earlier.
Number 57 of the defensive team. The penalty is refused. First down.
It's on Corey Miller, and they will take the 22-yard first down.
Watch, he'll set up. He knows where he wants to go with the ball. Now watch him just, boom, ball's just gone. Right on the money. And, of course, you can see the flag on Miller.
Corey Widmer back in the game at middle linebacker for the Giants. Bailey was in the last series. First down on the Eagle 46. In play action, Cunningham gets hit, and his pass is ruled complete by Calvin Williams. And a first down, a pickup of 17 more yards.
Well, that's well done by Cunningham. Watch the pressure by Dillard right here. He's going to just take Davis and just power him. One of the problems Anton Davis has been having is a power rush. He gets to Cunningham, gets the smack on him, but watch where the ball is. Right where it has to be, low and outside for the completion.
Williams did a terrific job in dragging both feet to stay in bounds. And the Eagles driving have a first down on the Giant 37. Total yards almost even now. Hebron almost got stopped behind the line by Hamilton and gets forward and picks up about 5 yards. And the clock has run down as Mike Fox makes the tackle. And that is the end of the first quarter here at Giant Stadium with the score. The New York Giants 14, the Philadelphia Eagles nothing. Nick Stockton, and tell you what, Dave Brown's got to have a world of confidence because his team leads by 2 touchdowns, and that secondary as well. A little pressure off the Giants.
Yeah, they're playing well, and I think they've come out and they've got a little confidence going, something to build on.
Second down and 4 for the Eagles on the 31-yard line of the Giants. Cunningham chased by Hamilton. Fires downfield to Calvin Williams, incomplete. He was covered down there by Philippi Sparks.
Well, you know, the big play that got him that 14-point lead was Meggett's return. Now, what Meggett brings, you know, a lot of things, but he also brings confidence. What I want you to watch is not only Meggett. Now, watch the people on the sideline. They know it right away. Ball's in Meggett's hands. Something special is going to happen. And once he's down the sideline, of course, he does make that special happen. Why, you know, the worst thing that could ever happen is for a punter to get in a position to have to be the only guy. On the other side of the sideline, the whole Philadelphia Eagle team is going, uh-oh,
It's their first team.
our punter is our last hope.
And the Eagles have called a timeout, their first of this first half. Stadium and Matt Millen, I would think the Eagles trailing by 2 touchdowns in Giant territory. They should come up with something here if they're going to hang in there.
Yeah, well, the main thing they can't come up with is pressing. They've got to remain patient and not try to force something.
This is a free play for Cunningham, and the pass is caught to the yard line by Fred Barnett. Philippi Sparks is going to be upset. The penalty was against the Giants. It'll be declined. 29-yard gain, and the Eagles threaten big time.
If that didn't look like the Fred Barnett of old, nothing did.
Defense, number 74, offside. Penalty is refused. First down.
The 2 things they always remember. If Cunningham got in trouble, he was always going to Barnett, and he was always going to throw the ball high because this is an acrobatic receiver. Now, he's coming off a knee injury, Barnett, and he shows no sign. Look at this. Great concentration, great body position, uses his size to make the catch.
And that was on a free play, so the Eagles, who trail 14-0, and Barnett back in action, reunited with Calvin Williams at wide receiver. First and goal at the 2. Joseph is used as a tight end, and the pass intended for Mark Bavaro, who came out of the game briefly with a hamstring pull, was the intended receiver, and the Giants put good pressure on Cunningham.
Well, Cunningham, if he would have had a little time, that would have been 6, but the reason that he didn't was because Corey Miller comes right up inside, and he's going to get pressure on Cunningham, which will force Cunningham right here with the fake, forces him to throw it early and doesn't allow Bavaro to get out and clear.
Second and goal at the 2-yard line for the Eagles. This time another play fake. Cunningham pressured again. Miller is after him, and the pass is thrown away. Corey Miller once again putting the pressure on Randall Cunningham.
Nowhere to throw the football. Everybody was covered. Cunningham had to improvise. Miller again with the pressure forced the play. Watch the play action. He pulls it out. He looks nowhere to throw the football. Now he rolls to his left, but there's no receivers anywhere. The only thing he sees is Miller coming for the smack.
And now the Eagles are going to go back to their wideouts as Barnett and Williams check in. Corey Miller was the outstanding linebacker for the Giants in preseason. Third and goal at the 2. And the Giants signal for a timeout right before the snap. And that's the Giants' first timeout, and fortunately they got the call before the play was run. We'll be back.
Right here, Michael Brooks decides to call a timeout because they got 13 guys in here, and they made a personnel change on defense. Not enough people got out. So Brooks makes the timeout. It was a good call.
Mike Nolan, the defensive coordinator of the Giants, who now face a 3rd and goal at the 2 from the Eagles, who have their wideouts in. Cunningham nearly tripped coming out, and he'll be stopped at the 3-yard line, and Eric Howard was there to make the play, and that will bring 4th down for the Eagles. Looked like Cunningham had tripped a bit.
He came out from under the center, and it looked like he tripped. Maybe somebody stepped on him. Let's look. No, right there. See, his foot gets caught in the turf, and then right here, he knows he's in trouble, so he just goes down. So the timeout turns out to be a pretty big deal. See how the turf right there just grabs his foot and he overextended.
Eddie Murray, who kicked for the world champion Cowboys, will be attempting a 22-yard field goal. And Murray's kick is good. And the Philadelphia Eagles, early here in the 2nd quarter, get on the scoreboard. The Giants still lead, however. Fortley cruises at a speed of 35 miles per hour and an altitude of 1,200 feet. And a terrific look at sold-out Giant Stadium. Here to see 2 teams, and practically everyone seems to think that this game will set the tone, perhaps, for both of these teams in the NFC East race.
I think that's a good assessment, Dick, and I think there were a couple questions that had to be answered by the New York Giants. It was on their defense. Were their linebackers going to be strong enough, and was their secondary going to hold up? And I think really both of those questions have been answered through the first part of this game. Corey Whitmer making a couple of big stops in the 3rd and short. Corey Miller putting pressure on down along the goal line.
Kick is taken by Meggett at the 15. And he is buried just shy of the 30-yard line. So the Giants get the ball, and you make a good point, because the question wasn't so much about Dave Brown coming into the game. He was very poised in preseason. It was the Giant defense.
Yeah, it was. And, because Giant defense has really carried this team for forever. And right now they're in a good position because Brown can go back and just start handing the ball off and get his confidence as it goes. And really, he's looked pretty good so far. He had the 1 interception, but he's come right back. He knows where he wants to go with the ball, and I think he's pretty confident.
Said that his best advice has come from Phil Simms, who was let go by the Giants. And they have stayed in touch. 1st down on the 30. There's Rodney Hampton. Breaks a couple of tackles, and it's vintage Rodney Hampton as he gains 8 yards on the play. Michael Zordich, the new strong safety, on the tackle. Dave Meggett with a sparkling 68-yard touchdown punt return. He also recovered a fumble to set up the Giants' first score. The Eagles have outgained the Giants, but the Giants took advantage of a Philadelphia turnover and 14-3 to score with 13 minutes to go in the first half. 2nd down and 2. And it's Hampton. Good fake. Faked everyone but the Eagle defense, and a loss on play with Fuller leading the way.
William Fuller certainly wasn't faked out. And you know what you're seeing right now, the Eagles have a sense of urgency. They know their defense has to start making big plays, stopping them. I mean, really, they've done that to date. They've held them to 51 total yards through this point in the quarter and a half, rather. And they're going to have to make big plays if they're going to have to get back into this game.
But Carson, who is like a magic potion going into opposing teams each week with the kind of defenses he comes up with. You knew he would try to pressure Brown. Meggett is in the game. 4 wideouts on 3rd and 7. Bobble the snap to Brown, gets rid of it, and Marshall makes the catch. What a gutty catch by Arthur Marshall, and that'll be good enough for a Giant 1st down. Talk about Ed Lebb and Otis Smith, the nickel back on the tackle.
Yeah, well, watch Byron Evans coming up the middle on the blitz. You're going to see the bad snap. Now, right at the end, watch, he's going to take a shot, but he stays with the receiver. Ball right there on the money. Marshall comes back to the ball. Nice catch.
That showed a lot of presence for Dave Brown on that play. 1st down on the Giant 44. And the fridge got too close to the stove.
Well, he got everything back except that last third.
90. defense, 5 yards, still first down.
Watch the Fridge. Now he's trying to be cute. He's trying to do his Fred Flintstone twinkle toes move. And he gets right here, but look, right at the end, you know, can get most of it back. But guess what couldn't come back right there? See that? That just quite couldn't get back.
You know, with that midriff, it doesn't take much to touch the helmet of the center.
Look at that. Brian Williams' helmet is still there.
1st and 5 following the penalty. Mike Sherrard at the top of your picture. Penalty flag again. Brown is going to Callaway, who's wide open. And Callaway will run it in. And if it's against the Eagles, it'll be a Giant touchdown. And a roar will go up depending on the call.
Defensive end, number 94, offside. Penalty is refused. Touchdown.
51 yards.
Well, he knows he has the free play. Jumps up now. He knows. Look at that. Fridge gets some pressure, hits him right in the face. He lost the ball out. McMillan bites on the pattern. They double moved him. Went up. Callaway, 6 points.
And the Giants in front now 20-3. Chris Callaway, who beat out Mark Jackson for the starting job this year. And man, according to the Giants, has a defensive mentality as a wide receiver, just like a linebacker, like my partner, or maybe. Not anymore. Treadwell's kick is good. And the Giants and Dave Brown lead the Eagles now 21-3.
Now watch Fridge. He throws Roberts to the side. See, right there the fake. That gave him the double move. That's when Callaway on the other end made McMillan bite. If you remember earlier in the game, McMillan read the pattern and jumped it the first time and got the interception. So they came right back to him, went with the pump. He knew immediately that he had it. Brown gets hit in the face and knew he had 6. Now, Bud's not too happy. He told him a million times, you gotta watch the double move.
So Bud Carson's defense, of course, you can't blame the defense for all the scores, actually. Just one when you consider the turnover and the kick return. But Carson is not a happy defensive coordinator. Meanwhile, on the other side of the field, the Giants are related, and Dave Brown showing tremendous poise here, and the defense coming up big, and the Giants lead 21-3. Brad Daloiso to kick off for the Giants. Hebron and Sidner back for the Eagles, and the wind blows the ball off the tee. Kickoff going to Sidner inside the 5-yard line. And Sidner is decked on a high tackle at the 22-yard line by Corey Widmer.
Now remember that Brown does the double fake. Now watch right here. 29 McMillan. Earlier he jumped the pattern and he had the interception. Now watch. There's the fake right there. See right here? Now he bites. And that allows him to come back outside and get beyond him. And that's why Bud Carson was humming on him on the sideline. Humming.
And for Dave Brown, his first NFL touchdown pass. And first of what could be many for the former Duke star. 1st and 10 at the 23 for the Eagles. And the give is to Herschel Walker off the right side. Picks up a couple. Corey Miller on the tackle. He's been active in this first half, to say the least. A pickup of 3 yards.
Well, he's playing on emotion. And all through the preseason, they really wanted Miller to pick it up. But, you know, he's kind of arrived in his mind, and he feels like once he gets going in this game and once he starts to get the emotion going, he'll play even better.
Stacy Dillard is in for Mike Fox at left defensive tackle, and Carlton Bailey. It looks like they're alternating series between Whitmer and Bailey at middle linebacker. 2nd and 7. Big rush on Cunningham, trying to go to Maurice Johnson, and that time it was Michael Brooks. That's what they want from Brooks.
Yeah, big plays. And that's what Michael Brooks can do. They wanted to put him in a position where he can make plays. Now they walk him up to the line of scrimmage, and really all this is overloading. See, you put enough guys over there, they have to account for somebody. Anton Davis blocks down inside, and that frees Brooks up outside. There's Mike Nolan, the defensive coordinator. He's pretty excited about his backers. I mean, that was a question mark.
6 defensive backs for the Giants. It'll be 3rd and 7 on the 26. This crowd is into it. Cunningham with time up the middle for Walker, and he was double covered, and then Booty came along as well, and the Giants defense that well, and it'll bring up 4th down. Boy, the Giants are fired up. And they have held again, and Mitch Berger will be kicking, and Dave Meggett could give the Giants good field position. He's standing at his 35. Good kick. Beauty by Berger. Meggett muffs it and covers up smartly. Well, the Giants avoided disaster there. We'll be back 21-3 in favor of New York.
WD shots are felt.
Plenty of time remaining in the first half. The Giants leading 21-3. Offense, defense, special teams, it's all been there for the Giants.
Well, they got a big play on the offense, but really, this Eagle defense has not played poorly. I mean, they've contained them, but they've been put in a pretty poor position at times.
Cunningham has thrown twice as much as Brown thus far. Giants with a first down on the 27. Hampton. Rodney Hampton. And it takes 2 Eagles from behind to bring him down. Greg Jackson and Michael Zordich. And close to midfield, a 20-yard pickup.
Hampton just following his blockers. All he does is get everybody out in front of him and wait for them to get inside. Now watch Hampton come across. Rashid with a cut block right inside to seal, and then back outside. Lance Smith with a block right there that really springs him. He'll cut back inside. The one thing the Giants have not lost is a good offensive line. That's still the strength of this team.
Bert Grossman and Mike Flores in the defensive line for the Eagles. First down for the Giants. Dave Brown's pass to Callaway. He's got it and is knocked out of bounds. Defended by Mark McMillan. And a gain that time of 7.
The only time that the Eagles really have gotten pressure on Dave Brown has been through blitzing. Now here's a matchup that I like. Chris Callaway, who's kind of a quick guy, and Eric Allen, who is really a studier. Eric Allen is as good a corner as there is in the league. And the reason is because he studies and knows everybody on the field before they ever get out there.
And he's become a television personality as well in the Philadelphia area. 2nd down and 3. Here's Hampton. He got great momentum, knocked down by the Eagles, but it's enough for a first down. And right now, let's return to James Brown in our Hollywood studio.
All right, Dick, a little while ago, you guys saw Dave Brown and Chris Callaway. How familiar is this connection here? Brett Favre to Sterling Sharp, 14-yard strike. Packers on top, 10-zip, that in the 2nd. Back to the Meadowlands and Dick Stockton.
You know, Matt, I'm glad that the Packers are happy that Sharp is back, but I'll tell you, that's tough walking out of the day before the game.
You know, it's even tougher. He didn't practice all preseason, and then he goes out there and he gets a catch.
Rodney Hampton gets stood up at the 42-yard line by Greg Jackson, the former Giant. 3-yard gain that time. Giants can afford, with a 21-3 lead, to use the clock and play conservatively. There's Bert Grossman, who's back on the sideline. One of the many new faces on the Eagle defense. He came over on a trade from San Diego. Thomas Lewis and Mark Jackson, new wide receivers in there. 2nd and 7. The Giants have gained 100 yards already here in the 2nd quarter. side, and Rodney again carrying, stopped by Evans, picks up 5.
Well, now it's just a case of the Giant offensive line starting to take over. You know what they've been? They have the opportunity to be patient. They don't have to put Brown in a position where he has to carry the load. They got points behind him. Now just let that offensive line start grinding on the defensive front of the Eagles.
All the scores up to date coming your way. 3rd down and 2. Out of the shotgun is Brown. Brown has Meggett, who can't hold on. Byron Evans was in his face, and that'll bring up 4th down for the Giants. So decision time for Dan Reeves.
And it looks like he made a decision. He's going to go for it.
That's what makes this particular rule really enticing, because now you're going to see teams go for it on 4th down. Dave Brown 5 for 9, 96 yards thus far. Lewis, Arthur Marshall, Mark Jackson all in at wide receiver on 4th down and 2. And here's the quick kick, which we saw twice in preseason, and the ball will bound into the end zone for a touchback. Well, the Eagles had to be ready for that one. They saw it enough in the films.
Kind of surprises me that when you have the quick kick in like that, that you'd show it twice in preseason.
I want to remind you, the second half of our doubleheader, Fox NFL Sunday. Most of you will see the Dallas Cowboys and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Some of you will see the Arizona Cardinals. Buddy Ryan's debut as head coach with the Cardinals against the LA Rams. And what a debut by Dave Brown, who threw the interception but has settled down well since that time.
That's a good sign. That shows some patience and maturity, and you like to see that in a young guy.
1st and 10, Eagles on the 20. Play fake. Pressure by Hamilton, and Cunningham is sacked inside the 15. Stacy Dillard amongst several Giants down there, and a loss of 2.
Earl Leggett, the defensive line coach, told me prior to the game that they really had to get a pass rush going, and they wanted to get it with their defensive line without blitzing. And the guy where they were waiting to show up was going to be Eric Howard inside, who dropped a bunch of weight, dropped 20 pounds, starting to use his quickness. Looks like it's paid off.
That is the 2nd sack for the Giants. 2nd down and 12. Cunningham's pass incomplete. Victor Bailey was the intended receiver, and that will bring up 3rd down. So far, Cunningham 6 for 15, but the Eagles are going to rely more on the pass. Haven't run the ball much so far.
Yeah, well, they can't. They're down. They have to get back. But you know what? This Eagle offense right now, they're out of sync. Looks like they're pressing to me. You know, they're starting to get some pressure through the offensive line. They've got to settle down and take it back piece by piece. Don't go for the big thing. Then they'll be okay.
Cunningham's last 5 passes have been incomplete. 3rd and long. Cunningham to Calvin Williams, and it was trapped, incomplete. So now Randall is 0 for his last 6, and that'll bring up 4th down, and cheers for the Giants defense. Mitch Berger will kick from a yard in the end zone, and Dave Meggett is back. This will be the 4th kick of the game for Berger. Another boomer by Berger. And Meggett backed up to his 35, and the fair catch called for, so that's where the Giants will start. Talked about the Giant legends and a lot of their heroes who have retired, such as Phil Simms. Another one is Lawrence Taylor.
Yeah, Lawrence Taylor, they have a shrine in that Giant locker room, and I mean, you almost have to genuflect when you go by, and you can see right there, you know, he's got his All Madden trophy right up here, and then there's the picture of LT. Heck, they still put his helmet and his jersey in there, and you know, he's not only there, it's still out every place you look in the stadium. Lawrence Taylor's everywhere.
And he'll be everywhere. They'll never forget him. 1st down on the 34. Here's Hampton, runs into a wall and gains maybe a yard or so. As you mentioned, the Eagle defense has not done that bad a job. They've been victim of bad field position. Of course, special teams gave up a score. And then there was a penalty and a free play in which the Giants scored 1 touchdown on offense so far.
Well, Eagle defense has to carry this team. And right now, their backs are against the wall. They're going to have to hold and start to try to get back field position for their offense.
2nd down and 8. 2 tight ends for the Giants. Brown going up on top. And Mark Jackson was his receiver, but it was overthrown, and he was covered downfield by McMillan.
Well, you saw right there, McMillan stayed right on Jackson. He was not going to bite on anything. You know, after Bud Carson had been screaming at him on the sideline, he knows exactly what he has to do now. Now, see how he's reading the receiver all the way. Don't get beat deep. Don't let the guy get on top of you. Ball's overthrown.
Looking at the scores, Green Bay never beats Minnesota, but they're doing it so far today. 3rd down and 8. 4 wide receivers for the Giants. Brown gets rid of it just in time, and the pass is caught at midfield by Meggett. That's Callaway, and that is a 1st down, a 15-yard pickup at midfield for Brown.
Watching Dave Brown, it's easy to see why he was influenced, or how he was influenced by Phil Simms. Look at the pocket, the great protection. He stays right in, keeps his feet, watches exactly where he wants to go with the ball, and then he just stands in there. I mean, that looked exactly like Simms.
Here's Hampton, and he'll be knocked back by William Perry, the first man to reach him. That's the 13th carry of the game for Rodney Hampton, the workhorse for the Giants. Three straight years of 1,000 yards or more rushing. And he'll get a breather.
It's funny, I think Rodney Hampton might be the best kept secret, not only in New York, but in the National Football League. You talk about all the great backs, his name comes up at about a 3rd or 4th mention. He's right there with the best of them.
Quietly is as good as anyone. 2nd and 10. And here's the end around. Arthur Marshall. Good blocking. And is ridden out of bounds. 6-yard pickup. Otis Smith found Marshall. It'll be 2nd down and about 4. Dan Reeves, whose 11-5 record last year, the best first-year record of any Giant coach in history.
And he's not too shy about throwing everything at you. Heck, he tried the quick kick, 2 end arounds. He's going to throw everything at you just to get you thinking about it, and then he's going to go back to his bread and butter stuff.
3rd down and 4. Brown trying to avoid Townsend, and he is tripped up. Fumble, but the whistle had blown. And it was William Thomas who came from the linebacking position. But first it was Townsend on the pressure.
Well, they got the pressure, but the reason was they got nowhere to throw the football. They're going to bring the pressure, and then Brown will look downfield, and he's got his 2 safeties deep and manned everywhere else. There's nowhere to go with the ball. Look at everybody's covered. Everybody's covered. 4th down.
And Mike Horan will be kicking, and Jeff Seidner back deep for the Eagles. 3:15 remaining in the first half. 21-3, the Giants lead Philadelphia. High kick and a fair catch by Seidner, just inside the 10. And Tito Wooten was in his face to make sure Seidner was going to hold on. I want to remind you, coming up on the Dockers halftime, James Terry will have all the scores and highlights. And Terry, Howie, and Jimmy will take a look at 2 of the game's premier running backs, Emmitt Smith and Barry Foster. They'll be tangling in the 2nd game of this Fox doubleheader, Steelers and Cowboys. That's all coming up on the Dockers halftime. That's a good opening day matchup. 1st down on the 10. Bailey back at middle linebacker. Herschel Walker spins his way and a penalty marker down as Walker is stopped at the 15-yard line. Brooks on the tackle. And it's against the Eagles.
You know, those penalty flags have been killing the Philadelphia Eagles. They came out before they went back. They had a holding, and then they had an offside.
Holding, offense, number 76 will go half the distance to the goal. Still first down.
That's Broderick Thompson, the right tackle. Guilty that time.
Yeah, those holding calls, penalties of any sort, that just kills drives. I mean, you're always starting backed up.
John Booty has come in the game in the Giants secondary, replacing Jesse Campbell. He's been with the Eagles before. 1st and 15, and a handoff after a fake on a pass. And knocked back is James Joseph. And making the play for the Giants is Michael Brooks again. No gain.
You know, you're down 21-3 offensively. What you have to do is have patience. You have to have patience with your running game, patience with your short passing game. You really have to be aware, as Zeke Bratkowski, the quarterback coach right there, you have to be aware of maintaining some kind of continuity. Right now, the Eagles are completely out of sync.
And that offensive line, which was a question mark in preseason, still is a major question mark. 2nd and 15. And we'll have our 2-minute warning. The Giants have outplayed the Eagles on both sides of the ball, and 2 minutes remain in the first half. 21-3 the score. Providing aerial coverage of Fox Sports opening day football games featuring the Eagles and the Giants. The MetLife blimp is co-piloted by Snoopy, dressed as the famous World War I flying ace. Today, rather than searching the skies for the Red Baron, Snoopy is enjoying NFC East action here at East Rutherford, New Jersey.
There's a dog driving that blimp.
That's right.
How you doing? My name's Snoopy. Is that what the guy said?
What?
Says up there?
I don't want to go for a ride in that thing with Snoopy at the helm.
Snoopy. Hi, how you doing? I'm Snoopy.
2 minutes remain in the first half. 2nd down and 15 on the 5. Stacy Dillard and Chris Mamalonga up front for the Giants. Cunningham in his own end zone fires, and it's tipped. And it was Mamalonga who got a hand on it. You talked about the Eagles being out of sync. That goes for the line and Cunningham because the two of them are not working well together.
No, not at all. The offensive line was a question mark. They hadn't played well through the preseason. And they were question marks, particularly their tackles. Now, Mamalonga right there, though, just got stoned at the line of scrimmage. And then all he did was had the presence to throw his arms up in the air, and Cunningham hit him right in the hands.
Beg your pardon. Anyway, it'll be 3rd down. Giants giving their regular defensive lineman a breather here in the waning moments of this first half. Penalty flag. Cunningham going up on top for Herschel Walker. He's got it. Herschel Walker.
He's pulling away. That guy can still fly.
And he almost gets to the goal line. Jesse Campbell going after him, making the tackle. Corey Raymond was also chasing him, and it looked like Raymond might get him. 94 yards.
Heck, any questions about if Herschel Walker can still run, we're erased.
Penalties on the Giants, I believe.
Defense, number 99. Penalty is refused. First down.
Second big play off a freebie. They jumped up front. He has Walker right down the middle. Now watch him kick it into gear right here. He just starts to pull away, and they just get the angle on him. He outruns the angle right at the end. Nice job by Campbell diving for the tackle.
We have seen so many free plays that's resulted in pay dirt or close to it.
She puts the ball to the outside, and it's just a sprint. Boy, Campbell with a great diving tackle at the end.
Walker can run still. 1st and goal at the 1. Eagles have 2 timeouts remaining, as do the Giants. Here's Vaughn Hebron, and he's hit at the 1-yard line immediately. And coming up from the secondary, it looked like Jesse Campbell, the former Eagle.
Now, remember earlier when Vaughn Hebron was reading the blocks so well. Now, that play, he didn't read his blocks at all. He got right behind Herschel Walker. Walker went with a block, and then he just ran right into his rear end. Really made the tackle for the defender.
You figure if the Eagles are going to make a game of this, they've got to score. 2nd down and goal. There's Hebron again, and he is knocked back farther in a loss that time.
Well, Randall Cunningham just turned and looked to the sideline, threw his hands up in disgust. That's not a good sign. But what is a good sign on the other side of the ball, watch the Giants get to the football. Corey Widmer comes over the top. Watch the defensive line pushing the offensive line right back. Keith Hamilton, real nice play inside.
It'll be 3rd and goal, this time from the 3-yard line. And time is called by Philadelphia. By the way, that 94-yard play from Cunningham to Herschel Walker was the 3rd longest play in the Philadelphia Eagles' storied history.
They're going to take Walker, and they just send him right down the middle of the defense. And really what you're counting on is you're trying to split these two safeties with speed. You take Walker, and you just run right through the middle. See this? Now they're split. Now, right down the middle, there's nobody there. See this? He goes over the top, run right through the middle, and then just use the legs to outrun everybody. Watch, here's an angle. He's taking this angle. His aiming point is up here. Dive at the end. Campbell, that's a great play by Campbell. Great hustle play.
And what running by Walker, because it appeared that Corey Raymond was going to catch up to him. And Walker put on the second effort.
Hit that other gear. Some guys never lose that gear. Some guys come into the league and they have that overdrive, and then they lose it. But Herschel Walker hasn't lost it.
3rd and goal. A bootleg. Cunningham throws, touchdown. Mark Bavaro, a familiar sight when he played for the Giants, and the Eagles get a much-needed touchdown to bring them closer with 39 seconds remaining.
Yeah, Bavaro snuck to the back of the end zone and played the end line, and they'll bring the receiver. They'll bring Walker underneath and this tight end here, and what they'll do, see, you'll see him, Bavaro down the bottom of your screen. He goes deep, just finds an open crease, and Cunningham finds him.
The Eagles have used their last timeout as we take another look at Cunningham's ability to roll out.
All he's doing when he rolls like that is buying time and waiting for the receivers to settle down where no one is. Bavaro read that as well, sat down in the middle of that zone, got the touchdown.
A major ingredient in 2 Giant Super Bowls. Mark Bavaro, great hero here in New York. So a timeout called by the Eagles. Bavaro with the touchdown reception. And by the way, that Walker play was the longest one of Herschel's career.
Well, the difference between that broken play and the early one was Bavaro's touchdown. First time they come away with 3, now they have a chance at 7.
Eddie Murray for the extra point. And so the Eagles, who are hemmed in their own territory, but Herschel Walker took care of the rest, and Bavaro with the touchdown reception. And with 39 seconds remaining in the first half, the score now, the Giants 21 and the Eagles 10.
What the Eagles do now, they're going to take Bavaro and they're going to run him through the traffic and get him deep. And then underneath, they'll run everybody shallow and try to force the zone to come up. Once that does, Bavaro will find the open spot, and he just sits down. See, he runs through. Now they bring everybody right up in here. See that? Bavaro is reading the same thing, and that's the touchdown.
So the Eagles, who have been outplayed in this first half, come back and have something to work on and to use as a starting point when they talk things over at half, getting ready for their second half effort against the Giants. Opening game of the season, Fox NFL Sunday, along with Matt Millen. This is Dick Stockton. They went 90 yards on 6 plays, and the big play, of course, was the 94-yard pass to Walker. Berger kicking off. Lewis back for the Giants. Thomas Lewis up to the 23-yard line. And with 33 seconds remaining, Mark Woodard making the tackle for the Giants. Want to remind you, coming up halftime. From our Hollywood studios, James Brown, Terry Bradshaw, Howie Long, and the coach, Jimmy Johnson. Scores and highlights, and a look at two brilliant running backs, Emmitt Smith of the Cowboys and Barry Foster of the Steelers. They're going to be not going against each other, but their teams will in the second game.
Yeah, that's going to be a heck of a good football game. I'm looking forward to watching that one. Barry Foster's back off the foot. Emmitt Smith is back to the regular season. It's going to be fun.
First down on the 24 for the Giants. Not trying anything fancy. Rodney Hampton edges his way out toward the 30-yard line. And that may be, and that will be, the last play of the first half as Brown heads for the tunnel. Well, the Giant fans have to be pleased with Brown, his poise, and their defense.
I don't think there's any question. Two questions were answered. We've repeated it. I'll repeat it again. Their secondary has played well. The young quarterback has done well. And the linebackers defensively have come on.
And that's the end of the first half with the score, the Giants 21 and the Eagles 10. Stay tuned for the Dockers halftime as Fox NFL Sunday continues after these messages from your local station. By MCI Proof Positive.
Yeah, well, this highlight really is Dave Megan aided by a block right there by Jesse Armstead. And then it just gets him down along the sideline and let his feet do the rest. Watch how he waits for people to show up. And then just do what you can't teach. Spin and get into the end zone. 68 and out the gate.
68-yard touchdown, and he also recovered a fumble or a muff to set up the first Giant score. But the Philadelphia Eagles, with a big touchdown in the waning moments of the first half, set up with a 94-yard pass to Herschel Walker, and the Eagles back in the game, trailing 21-10. Giants will receive the second half kickoff. Mitch Berger will kick off for Philadelphia. Thomas Lewis and Dave Meggett are back deep for the Giants. Another low kick. And it's going to be Meggett returning for the Giants. Trying to squirt outside, and he picks up another couple of yards. Matt, I have to say that if it weren't for the Eagles scoring in the waning moments and they were hemmed in on their own 5-yard line, they would really be down right now. But they have to feel they're back in this game.
They're back in this game, and they've got to be excited about the fact that they got a big play to do it. And they got it out of the guy that they need to get it out of, Randall Cunningham. And then right at the end, they get the touchdown, again, off of Cunningham's legs. By him rolling out, buying some time, that allowed Bavaro to sneak to the back. So I think they've got to be encouraged that they got the score, but that Cunningham has made the big play.
They're going to need better work from his offensive line in the second half. First down on the 32. Callaway is in motion. And Rodney Hampton, good speed off the left side, picks up 4 or 5 yards. Well, we knew that Dave Brown was going to face Bud Carson's blitzes today.
Yeah, I think he's done a very good job. And this is the right here. See, 3 out of 4. Carson's given him 8-man fronts. He's shown a couple of blitzes. He's dropped people in and out. And Brown has been ready. The thing that's been impressive is he's knows where he wants to go with the football when he's been getting the blitz.
Callaway and Sherrard line up on the right side. Second down and 5 on the Giant 37. Here is Kenyon Rashid on the inside handoff, fumbles. Byron Evans has recovered for the Eagles. So Rashid, starting at fullback, coughs it up, and the Eagles now really think they've got a big chance to come back.
Well, they needed to have a big play early, something to build off of, and right there you see Fuller comes across, and then Andy Harmon finishes it off. That knocks the ball loose. Byron Evans right on top of it. So they get the big play that they need out of their backers and their big play people.
Byron Evans, the mainstay of the linebacking core. A lot of the old faces gone, such as Seth Joyner, Clyde Simmons, and the rest. First down on the Giant 41 for the Eagles. Cunningham looking to throw, chased by Howard, and he's got Joseph on the right side. Joseph with good speed inside the 20-yard line to the 15.
Boy, that was very well executed. They went out, they faked the screen to the left side, and Joseph snuck out to the right side, and then he waited for his lineman to get there. Now watch, he's going to come out. First he's going to fake, looks to the side right here. Now go back. Now wait for your lineman to get in front, take the people out court. Nice block on Miller. Good job by Holmes getting out. And then get into the secondary with that big body. Big play.
Philippi sparks first, and then Jarvis Williams finished it off. A gain of 26. First down, Eagles on the Giant 15. Here's Walker, and he's bottled up after a gain of a couple. So the Eagles with newfound confidence. Keith Hamilton that time making the tackle.
Now this is when the Eagle offensive line is going to have to try to start to establish itself. You know, they've been having some problems. They've been getting pressure put on it. They've not been holding up real well. But now they're going to have to, look, stay low, come off the ball, and start to get some continuity in that front five.
And that's where the Giants defense has to show they're the same team that played in the first half. 2nd and 8. Cunningham tries to take off, and Eric Howard had a hand around him. That won't go as a sack because Cunningham started a run with it, but it'll be a good defensive play inside.
Well, the nice job. They broke down the pocket, but Calvin Williams snuck to the outside and was not wide open. Had Cunningham been able to have a little time, it could have been 6.
That is a sack, and it's Howard's 2nd of the ball game, a loss of 2 yards. It'll be 3rd and 10. Cunningham holds on to the ball, and that time it was Hamilton. Keith Hamilton.
Well, Keith Hamilton should go back and kiss all of his defensive backs because there was no place to throw that football. Everybody was covered. Cunningham looked the field over, had enough time to see everybody, and you're going to see it. Everybody goes down, and then Hamilton just stays persistent. Now watch. Everybody covered down here. All the way, look, all the way around here. Nowhere to throw the football. Hamilton just stays with it and gets the sack.
And Eddie Murray with a
Ice cream, just $1.49.
And the kick is good. So Eddie Murray with the field goal. Berger the holder, and the Philadelphia Eagles with their 2nd field goal inch closer trail the Giants 21-13. Giants Stadium, the Giants lead now 21-13, and Eddie Murray with his 2nd field goal of the game. You remember, while kicking for the Cowboys, he kicked the big 41-yard field goal in overtime in the final regular season game to give the Cowboys their 2nd straight NFC East title. Mitch Berger will be kicking off here. Lewis and Meggett back deep for the Giants. Best kick so far by Berger into the end zone and down there by Meggett, and the Giants will take it out at the 20. Well, the world is full of trouble spots, and beginning tonight, one man will find them all. He's the only secret agent cool enough to cut it in the 90s. Fortune Hunter premieres tonight at 7, 6 Central, part of Fox's Super Sunday. This fall, the action doesn't stop after football.
The action's not going to stop right now either for Dave Brown. You got your 8-point lead. He's 6 out of 11. He's playing a pretty good, solid football game. Now they're going to turn it over. Got to get pressure on him if you're an Eagle defense, and you've got to hold in the pocket if you're that Dave Brown.
2 tight ends for the Giants. Play fake for Brown, gets hit, and the pass incomplete, and Callaway unable to hold on, but Brown took a lick back there.
They brought Zordich off the corner. Townsend takes the inside move right in his face as the ball's let go. Michael Zordich picked up. You know, the interesting thing, talking to Richie Kotite, he said, these are the best safeties we've had since I've been here. Zordich and Jackson, they can run, they can get to where they have to go. He's very pleased with them.
Wes Hopkins and Andre Waters had been there. 2nd and 10. Early here in the 3rd quarter. Here's Kenyon Rashid for a couple. It was Rashid who fumbled, giving the Eagles their opportunity. Perry and Romanowski making the tackle that time, and it's good they gave Rashid the ball again quickly.
Yeah, they get it back to him to get him some confidence, but what they're really doing is giving the Eagles confidence. Very well played defense right there by the Eagles.
Well, Bud Carson throwing everything at Dave Brown. He said, I know I'm going to get the kitchen sink thrown at me, and we may see a lot more of it here in the 2nd half. 3rd and 8. Caught by Sherrard. That'll be a 1st down. Mike Sherrard stopped by McMillan, and the Giants keep the ball.
Well, Sherrard read the zone just as Brown did. You see, they show 5, then they drop Harmon out. They go with the zone. Great protection by the offensive line. Jumbo Elliott up there. Then Sherrard just breaks it off, comes back on the zone, makes the catch.
17-yard pickup to Mike Sherrard. The most courageous man on the team, according to Dan Reeves, has broken his ankle 3 times, broke his hip last year, and has come back. First down on the 39, and here's an end around to Sherrard, and nothing doing. William Thomas stormed in, and a big loss for the Giants.
Well, you know, they did it twice with Arthur Marshall. Now they do it to the other side, and they bring Sherrard around, but William Thomas wasn't about to bite on it. You saw last time that Greg Townsend had contained, and Townsend came underneath. Now you're going to watch. The key and the rule always for the outside man is always stay as deep as the deepest. What he did was had his eyes open and saw him. He came right to him. Big play.
He's got a lot of speed, does William Thomas, and a loss of 9 yards that time. 2nd and 19. 3 wide receivers to the right. There was a blitz coming, and pass for Sherrard is overthrown. They had Eric Allen coming in from his cornerback position.
Well, they talked about that. They knew that Eric Allen was going to come off the corner, that the safeties would be coming off the corner. What they wanted to do was pick the one guy who would be manned up and then keep max protect. You can see Meggett in there with a good block. Pressure right on top of him, but he goes to the man-to-man coverage. Of course, it's incomplete.
Third down and 19. Eagles with a stun on their defensive line. The flip to Meggett, and he is tackled at the 31-yard line, so the Giants will have to kick it away.
You know, something that will go unseen, and that was the play of Greg Townsend. Fuller does a great job of hustling, coming back and making the play, but Greg Townsend recognized it and got out in front of the blockers to slow everything down and turn it back inside.
Former Raider said, "I'm appreciated here in Philadelphia," and he's glad to be with the Eagles. It is 4th down, and Mike Horan will be kicking, and back deep, Jeff Seidner for the Eagles. High kick. Giants trying to cover it, and Seidner is hit and stopped at the 30-yard line by Marcus Buckley, his second play on special teams today. 45-yard punt by Horan. He'll be back with 8:43 remaining in the third.
Watch Greg Townsend right here, who makes the play. What he's going to do is he's going to notice that it's a screen. He sees Meggett. Now right here, he sees it. Now jump back outside, force him to come back inside, and that will allow Fuller to come over here and make the play. See Townsend forced back inside. Very well played.
First down Eagles from their 30, and an audible call by Randall Cunningham. Vaughn Hebron. And Brooks amongst the Giant defenders, and a good gain on first down of 5 yards by Hebron.
Dick, right now you can start to feel a little bit of the momentum starting to change. If you're a Philadelphia Eagle, you're starting to get a little bit more blood flowing through because, hey, you're down by 8, but we're starting to move the ball. We made a big play to start it. We stopped them on a big third down. We're getting things moving.
And I think the big play was at the end of the first half when they scored the touchdown on the big play to Walker and then the pass to Bavaro. That set him going. 2nd down and 5. There's Hebron, and he's hit by a couple of Giants and will lose 2 yards. Jarvis Williams finally made the play on Hebron.
Well, the Giant defense showed up to play today. I don't think there's any question that Corey Widmer in the middle and Michael Brooks, you know, they were a little uneasy about the positions they were playing. Michael Brooks wasn't real pleased with the fact that he was changed from the middle to the outside right away. But, hey, they accepted it, and they get out there, and the one thing that they'll do is they'll attack.
Hey, they don't have LT anymore. They've got to do something. 3rd down and 6. Flags are down. Cunningham going up top to Fred Barnett. And it's nearly intercepted that time by Jesse Campbell. And their penalty marker down. We've had a lot of free plays today by offense, and I don't know whether this was one of them, but it may have been.
Yeah, it looked like it. And if that one would have worked, they better put free play in their playbook make sure that that's one that works.
93, offside, 5 yards, repeat third down.
Mike Fox offside, so they'll do it again.
Fox jumps up front, and Cunningham, of course, knows that you're going to see him right here at the end. There's the jump, and that's the new rule. Of course, he's offside in the neutral zone anyway. And then he has the free play. And whenever you get a free play, if you're a quarterback and you have the opportunity to push it down the field, that's what you try to do. It worked 2 times for him. This time it did.
3rd and 1 following the penalty. 3 tight ends for the Eagles. Bavaro, Johnson, and James Joseph in that spot. And Randall Cunningham with what appears to be the first down. Randall Cunningham, who got hurt against the Jets on this very field, the same game that Seidner went down, and Barnett, and he told us yesterday, Matt, that we all want to come back, and we all rehabilitated together, wanted to come back healthy, especially playing on this field in our first game.
Yeah, they made a pact. They said we all want to come back the same time, and we all want to be productive.
First down on the 41-yard line for the Eagles. Play action. Cunningham fires, and the pass is incomplete. Calvin Williams was defended by Philippi Sparks, and he did a good job on the far sideline. Right now, let's return to James Brown in our Hollywood studio.
All right, Dick, at the Silverdome, the deadlock has finally been broken. After a rocky first half, Scott Mitchell finds Herman Moore for the score. Detroit leads it now 14-7, that in the third. Back out to the Meadowlands, Dick and Matt.
Everyone talking about Green Bay and Minnesota, and somehow Detroit doesn't get the support that maybe they deserve in the Central.
And that works to their favor. I think the Detroit Lions are going to have a pretty good football team for the combination you just saw there. Herman Moore and Scott Mitchell.
2nd down 10 for Philadelphia. Cunningham with plenty of time, drills it to Bavaro, knocked away. And that was a big battle between Corey Widmer and Mark Bavaro.
You know what I like about Widmer? Widmer thinks he's a tough guy, and Widmer plays like a tough guy. Now, he's locked up with Bavaro. He knows he belongs there. And this is really a poor decision by Cunningham because he's throwing it where he has no right to throw it. The coverage is right on top. Look at that. That's a very nicely played by Widmer. Lucky that wasn't a pick. Widmer came into the league as a nose guard. He was 275 pounds. Now he's shrunk himself down to 246.
And his first NFL start today. 3rd and 10. Cunningham flips it to Hebron. And covering on the play was Jesse Armstead. Boy, he is a valuable nickel defender for the New York Giants. And that'll bring up 4th down as the defense holds. You made a point about Cunningham, who had time on that last pass, but made a bad decision.
They tried to force it. You can't force it, especially in a situation like that.
Meggett is back, and Berger will kick for Philadelphia. Not long at all. High. Meggett with a fair catch. And the Giants will have good field position. They'll start from about the 32 or 33-yard line. 6:07 on the clock, 3rd quarter.
Let Troy Aikman throw the football. Michael Irvin outside. If he just doesn't get in the way, they're going to be pretty good.
Think they lost too much on defense?
No, they weren't a real solid, great defensive team. They were a solid team, not a great defensive team.
See what kind of defensive team the Eagles show here. First down on the Giant 33-yard line. 21-13, the Giants in front. Rodney Hampton hit from behind, and it was William Thomas. Well, he's a promising, good young linebacker. Bill Romanowski telling us yesterday how impressed he is with him.
Yeah, and I think the reason is William Thomas kind of epitomizes what the 90s linebacker is going to be. It's a guy who can flat out run. He has great speed and instinct. And I think right now you're getting away from the big bruising kind of linebacker. And you're going to the William Thomases, who are the sleeker, fast guys.
2nd down and 8. Aaron Pierce is in the backfield. He's the H-back for the Giants. Brown looking for a receiver, doesn't have any, takes off, and a late hit, and that's going to cost the Eagles. William Perry made the tackle.
Yeah. Bill Romanowski didn't appreciate something. He got up and grabbed the face mask of Howard Cross and threw it back.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 53, 15 yards from the end of the run, first down.
Romanowski on the late hit.
Sometimes when you're trying to teach aggressiveness, this stuff's kind of hard to avoid. Now this one could have been avoided. Romanowski should have taken another step and pulled off, but he committed and he stayed with it.
Wired from the 49ers on a draft day trade. He knows what it's like to be part of a successful club. It's 1st and 10 now at the 47 of the Eagles. Tommy Jeter, number 98, up front for Philadelphia. Dave Brown getting rid of it in a hurry, going deep for Callaway. Covering was Eric Allen. But I tell you, Allen will stay with you step for step.
Yeah, and he had man-to-man coverage, but it was time for Brown to throw it because guys like this, number 76, Big Jumbo Elliott, he blocks 2 guys. They're going to bring somebody off the corner. He'll take Townsend and throw him right back out. You see that? He throws him right into Zordich. Now, he's happy because you see this right here? He's got himself a regular-looking hand. Last week, he had to work with this thing. I asked him what he did with it. Heck, he said, I threw it in the recycling bin.
I don't think he could break that thing. 2nd and 10 with under 5 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. Brown had a little more time, and he's got the open man Callaway or Sherrard, and he's out of bounds. First down. Mike Sherrard wide open, and the Giant line gave Brown terrific protection. Mark McMillan on the stop.
All kinds of time to throw that ball. And one thing that has gone unnoticed in this football game is the New York Football Giants probably have the best set of receivers they've had in a long, long time. And this man, Mike Sherrard, is a huge reason. Last year, he was the only guy who could get deep. Now Callaway can get deep. And the guy who I fell in love with, Thomas Lewis, is really a player.
They're all going to fall in love with him. 21-yard gain on the play. First down on the 26. And Callaway was going in motion, and finally, with the clock running down, Dave Brown calls timeout. Well, the Giants don't want to make any mistakes as they challenge the Eagles and threaten here. We'll be back. Play.
He was lucky. He was lucky that he had a long count because after Black 88, he said, Zed, hut timeout. Now, it had to be on 3 because if it was on 2 when he hit time, they'd have been going off the ball.
Giants' first timeout of the 2nd half. So 1st and 10 once again. Those are Brown's numbers. He's thrown for 151 yards. Brown getting pressure, going for Callaway. And knocked away. A fine play by Mark McMillan as he stayed with Callaway and broke up the play.
Ball was right there. Again, Brown stands in there. You can tell. Now, he's going to get pressure. He knows something's coming. You can see he's got 6 people up front. Now they're going to get. Now watch the pressure come to his face. He's looking right at it. That's a tough throw to make. So he puts the ball up where the receiver has a chance. Now, you got to remember, this year, the difference is there's no face guarding. McMillan didn't have to turn back and look for the ball. He just had to make the play.
Michael Zordich put the pressure on, so 2nd down and 10. Inside handoff to Dave Meggett. And Meggett goes all the way for the touchdown. .26 yards for Dave Meggett, his 2nd touchdown of the game.
Dave Meggett plays like his personality. He's bubbly, he's nonstop, and look, he just hides in there. You can't see the guy. And then when you think he's down, heck, he just keeps on going. And the worst thing, there was some very poor tackling right there.
Meggett is a Giant star today on special teams and on offense. Came out of the pack and scored, and Treadwell In with Marshall holding. The kick is good. So Dave Meggett with a 68-yard punt return for a touchdown in the first half. Now with this nifty 26-yard scamper, and the Giants lead by a score now of 28-13.
50-yard line.
Back at Giant Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey, Dick Stockton and Matt Millen. Giants led 21-3. The Eagles scored 10 unanswered points, but then Dave Meggett ran 26 yards for the score. And again, there's breathing room between the Giants and the Eagles, 28-13. Brad Daloisa will kick off. Vaughn Hebron, number 45, and Jeff Seidner back deep for the Eagles. And it is going to be Seidner inside the 5. Gets away from one defender and out of bounds at the 30-yard line.
Gotcha. Hey, you don't run through for a touchdown without getting some great blocks. Right here, watch 61 Lance Smith. He's going to come across and trap Townsend right up here. And then Meggett will slip through because he's a nice seal block by Riesenberg. Now, here's what I want to show you. Look, this guy right here. See this? That's Thomas Lewis, the rookie. He thinks he's got a rear end as big as the other guys, and he sticks his face in there with a nice block, and that allows Meggett for the score.
He likes the heavy traffic.
I like this guy. Thomas Lewis is going to be a good football player.
From the 30-yard line, and the pass caught by Calvin Williams. And he's got an Eagle first down beyond the 40. Gained that time of 12 yards, and Philippi Sparks defending.
Now, right now, the Philadelphia Eagles, who seem to have had some momentum going, after the Meggett play was taken away. So they almost become one-dimensional. They have to start throwing the football to get back in this. The onus now is thrown right onto that offensive line.
3 minutes, 20 seconds remaining in the third quarter. First down for the Eagles on the Giant 42, on their own 42. Cunningham has not run much today, but he does this time, and is ridden out of bounds by Miller. No flag is thrown.
Well, he got some protection up front. There was good coverage, so he took off and ran. But this is the reason, number 74 right here, the rookie, Bernard Williams. Bernard Williams is 6'8", working on Strahan. And what he does, he just gets those long arms on you. And once those arms are on you, you're not going anywhere. Then right at the end of the play, it could have been an Oscar. I don't know.
He was clearly out of bounds. That was a close call for the Giants.
It was.
21-yard gain, first down on the Giant 37. There's Walker. And Carlton Bailey.
Hey, look at that. You see that? We just talked about how fast Herschel Walker was, how he hadn't lost his second gear, and then he got hit by 5 guys and carried him and got from behind the line of scrimmage and picked up at least a yard.
So he's strong as well as fast.
I think that's what I was trying to say. Now watch him stick his face in there, and watch, his feet never stop moving. Look at that strong guy. Just keep it going. Of course, he's getting a little help there from Bernard Williams.
Second down and 9. Cunningham underneath. And the pass is caught that time by Walker or James Joseph.
And James Joseph is looking for a face mask, but I think they just got him behind the back of the helmet and yanked him. But again, good protection from the offensive line at a time when they're really needing the protection. Watch Corey Miller grabbed by the back of the helmet and the face mask. I think he may have had a finger in that face mask.
Corey Miller is living a charmed life on this series. Third down and 6 for the Eagles with 4 wide receivers. Cunningham to Barnett. And let's see if the forward progress is enough for an Eagle first down. Corey Raymond was defending on the play as Cunningham helps Barnett up. And it appears to be a Philadelphia first down with under a minute to play.
Well, I got to tell you, there's no one happier that Fred Barnett is back on this team than Randall Cunningham. Now, Richie Kotite said he was excited to have him back. But Fred Barnett, he is a guy who Cunningham is very comfortable with, and he has not hesitated at all to throw the ball in tight coverage.
First down on the 27. Cunningham fires, and the pass is caught. Wide open is James Joseph. And another Eagle first down and a penalty flag as well, thrown at about the 10-yard line. Actually, that's maybe a holding call against the Eagles.
Ineligible offensive team downfield, number 74. 5 yards, repeat first down.
That was Bernard Williams downfield, the rookie tackle.
Hey, you see him smacking his head. He knew it was wrong. And they'll talk him and tell him to calm down, but he knew it right away. Bernard Williams at 6'8" and around 290. He lost about 25 pounds in training camp. This is a guy who's going to be a pretty good football player. He's having his rough moments right now, but he's got those great long arms.
15 seconds remaining in the quarter. 1st and 15 following the penalty. Cunningham tries to get it out to Joseph. 9 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Randall doesn't seem too pleased.
Well, I think he's talking to Joseph about getting out there. And his offensive line had to cut some people and just pop out and get on the other side. He's just going to pop it to him. It didn't happen. Big Broderick Thompson right there, 76.
Giants respond with 6 defensive backs and Jesse Armstead in the lineup on 2nd down and 15. Cunningham's pass is caught. Perfect slant pass. And it's Victor Bailey, and that'll be another Eagles first down inside the 15-yard line. And the clock runs down, and that is the end of the third quarter with the score, the Giants 28 and the Eagles 13. Fox NFL Sunday will continue after these messages from your local Fox station. The Giants lead the Eagles 28-13. Philadelphia is threatening. Aerial shots of today's NFC East football game provided by the MetLife Blimp Snoopy 1. 1st and 10 on the 13. Herschel Walker gets inside the 10-yard line. Carlton Bailey making the tackle on Walker, who caught a pass, 94-yard pass and run toward the end of the first half that set up the first Eagles touchdown of the game.
Now when you get down to this red zone territory, what really becomes a big plus for the Philadelphia Eagles are Randall Cunningham's legs. He'll buy some time by rolling out and getting himself in a position to let things develop.
2nd down and 6. There's Walker leaping to about the 7-yard line, and Corey Raymond in on the play. Giants lead 28-13. Eagles have gone over 300 yards. A lot of offense today and special teams as well. Cunningham has thrown for 256 yards. Meggett has scored 2 touchdowns for the Giants, including his 2nd career rushing touchdown. 3rd and 4. And a play fake, and here comes Cunningham to run, and he is stopped at about the 5-yard line. And it was Mike Fox, awfully strong with help from Corey Miller, who's had a big game for the Giants defensively.
Corey Miller's come up with some big plays, and it sets up a 4th down, 4th and short. But what I didn't like about that, if you're going to have Cunningham roll out, you don't want to turn it right into a running play. You have running backs who are good runners. Heck, let Cunningham buy some time out there. Use those legs to stretch the defense.
And the Eagles have called a timeout and will return. Big moment coming up for the Eagles in this game.
American Express card. Don't leave home without it. And by McDonald's, the official restaurant of the National Football League.
4th down and 2. Looks like a 1.5 for the Eagles. The Giants stopped the Eagles on 4th down following McMillan's interception early in the ball game. Let's see what happens here. There's Vaughn Hebron. And he dives forward. Let's see where they spot the ball. Jarvis Williams coming up from the secondary.
Well, if he got it, that was all second effort by Hebron. Because he got smacked, put his head down, and then he just kept those feet going.
They're going to measure.
That's where that extra pound, 10 pounds that he put on come in handy.
Giants stopped the Eagles earlier on 4th down and a yard.
Hey, he got it.
By a little more than the length of a football, and it'll be 1st and goal now for Hebron and the Eagles.
Yeah, watch Hebron makes up his mind. Watch him put his head down, his shoulders down, and he wants to get this 1st down right here. Turn back inside, square your shoulders. Look at this. Boom. Watch the feet. Keep going. He got a little bit of help there from Lester Holmes, too, with a good push. That's great effort by Vaughn Hebron.
Only 5'8", but he's got strong legs. 1st and goal now for the Eagles at the Giant 3. James Joseph. No gain. And that time Corey Raymond cutting in from the secondary, making the play. And an Eagle is down. And the injured Philadelphia Eagle is Lester Holmes. You just talked about the right guard and former #1 draft pick by Philadelphia. And we're going to take a break early here in the 4th quarter. Lester Holmes has left the game on his own power, and Rob Selby, number 75, replaces him at right guard for the Eagles, who have a 2nd down and goal coming up on the 4. This is the 14th play of the drive coming up. And it's consumed nearly 6.5 minutes.
Yeah, and they get it up and down the field, but this is the area of the field where the New York Giants really play tough defense. They play a good tight zone down here, and then they really get after it up front.
Cunningham to throw. His pass overthrown, intended for Joseph. Corey Miller was defending him in the corner.
Now that was a dead giveaway that it was going to be a pass. They went with no backs in the backfield. We used to call it ghost formation. The only run that you can have is a quarterback sneak or a quarterback draw. So then that just makes everybody diffuse in the secondary and match up in the man.
It'll bring up 3rd down. And there's a penalty that's going to be marked off now. It may be a holding call. And Rob Selby, who just entered the game for Lester Holmes, guilty of holding. So they'll repeat the 2nd down. It'll be 2nd now and goal, and the ball back at the 14. Cunningham going for the end zone to Bavaro, and it's overthrown. Cunningham had wide open Herschel Walker all alone to the left side that he didn't see.
And what he was doing was looking to his right side all the way. Didn't see the whole field. And again, that's where the Giants play that good zone defense. They get down there and everybody tightens it up. So really it's tough to see. They're matching up on men. As soon as they come into your zone, you clamp right onto them.
You saw Jesse Campbell and rookie Thomas Randolph from Kansas State come in the game in the nickel. It'll be 3rd down and goal. 6 defensive backs for the Giants. Cunningham finds Walker, but the pass thrown behind him, incomplete, and it'll be 4th down. And the Eagles, remember, had 1st and goal inside the 10.
Cunningham tried to look those safeties off to try to pull him away from Walker swinging out in the flat. But again, it's the zone that's been working so well for the Giants. They just waited patiently, knowing he has to get to the goal line. And then, of course, it was an incomplete pass.
So the Eagles bring on Eddie Murray. Bubby Brister, the reserve quarterback, will hold a 31-yard attempt. Murray has connected on field goals from 22 and 39 yards. And a whistle as Murray kicks. Delay of the game called against Philadelphia.
5 yards.
Interesting with
Still
Brister
fourth
as the holder.
Yeah, he's in now. Usually it's Berger who's the holder. They bring Brister in, which gives him the possibility of a throwing fake.
There is Mitch Berger, the rookie punter. This will now be a 36-yard field goal attempt. And Eddie Murray's kick is good. So Eddie Murray's foot has kept the Philadelphia Eagles in this ball game. His third field goal of the game makes it 28-16, the Giants.
He's not the normal holder. Berger is. Now the snap will be inside. He does a great job of getting it down. But here's a cardinal sin. See the laces? Yeah, that's the point. You're not supposed to see the laces if you're the kicker. But Murray knocks it through anyway.
Murray with his third field goal. Remember, he kicked with the Cowboys last year, most of his career with Detroit. Berger with a short kick, and it'll be Dave Meggett at the 15. Meggett has an opening, and it closes at the 32-yard line by Brian O'Neill. Well, this game is presented by authority of the National Football League and is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the New York Giants and the National Football League is prohibited. Intense game between two longtime rivals. The 120th time the Eagles and Giants have met. Finding out who they are. This game will go a long way to determining that. First down, Giants on their 33. Rodney Hampton bounces off a defender and gets good yardage before Greg Jackson, his former teammate, makes the stop. A gain of 6.
Nice block inside in the trap by William Roberts that lets Hampton get through the hole. The thing Hampton does well is he's a big man. Now he's going to follow the block. You're going to see 66 right here pull. Watch the trap on Fuller. Now once he's into the secondary, now that's a big, strong man. That's a tough guy to bring down.
Mark Jackson and Thomas Lewis are the wide receivers for the Giants. Jackson in motion on 2nd and 4. And caught behind the line of scrimmage is Hampton by William Thomas.
And Michael Zordich. You know, Michael Zordich, they brought him up in an 8-man front. And if you walk him up late, all he'll do is look, and he becomes the running back on defense. He's just looking for the open hole. When you find a hole, you just shoot it. Sets up a third down.
Former Cardinal, as you mentioned, the Eagles feel they have the best safeties they've ever had, and Jackson, the former Giant, and Zordich, the former Cardinal. Third down and 6 after the loss of 2. Brown has a receiver, and it's big Howard Cross in a first down. First catch of the day for the tight end, known for his blocking, and a gain of 21 yards.
And well, Cross came across, and he was wide open, and Greg Jackson sees it all the way. And you're going to see the break in the bow. They'll go with the fake. They've tried that reverse 3 times. Now they fake it. They bring Cross down. He bends in, sets down in the open area. Now watch Greg Jackson go for the ball right at the end. See, he drew a bead. He should have made the tackle instead of trying to go for the interception.
Dan Reeves was effusive in his praise of Howard Cross when we talked to him.
I don't know if that's good, but if it is, that was him.
First down, and the give is to David Meggett. Zordich on the tackle after a pickup of 5 yards.
Now, the thing to remember about Dave Meggett and playing against him and then watching him, I mentioned earlier that he just runs like his personality. He's all over the place. Meggett is a hard guy to tackle because it's hard to get your hands on him. He's got great balance. He's good on his feet. Once you can get your paws on him, you know, you can throw him down pretty easy. The problem is you can't always get your hands on him.
As the Eagles have found out today. Second and 5. Brown tries to go to Mark Jackson on the out. And that will bring up third down. Megan, of course, giving Rodney Hampton a breather. Hampton has gained 63 yards and 18 carries and has been the workhorse today.
And on the other sideline, Cunningham's trying to figure out what they're doing with their safeties and bringing them up and taking away the things that they're doing.
9:09 remaining in the fourth quarter. The Giants lead the Eagles 28-16. Third and 5. Here's Arthur Marshall, and this is going to be a wide receiver pass on a flea flicker, but nowhere to throw. And it was Bert Grossman who finally put down Marshall.
You know, it's funny. I was talking to Greg Townsend prior to the game, and Townsend said, hey, I know how Reeves is. Reeves is probably going to try to throw one of those Elways on me, and they're going to try to, but I'm going to be ready. I know this guy. Now watch Greg Townsend right here. They're going to hand it off because he's setting shotgun. That allows Dave Brown to become an eligible passer. Townsend sees it, comes back and covers it.
Loss of 8 yards on that play, and smiles on the face of Grossman. Horan on fourth down, kicking. And it takes an Eagle bounce into the end zone. A penalty marker is down, however, at midfield. So let's wait. Larry Nemmers, our referee for this opening game. Go Tight says we decline.
Ineligible. Number 30 of the kicking team downfield. The penalty is declined. First down.
The Eagles will take it out on the 20 when we come back. Reeves and the Giants lead 28-16. Interesting that Cunningham has been so much more effective in the pocket today.
Yeah, and the thing that's interesting about that is whenever you play against Cunningham, and these Giants even said it, we want to keep him in the pocket. We think he's less effective in the pocket than when he's out of the pocket. So he's having a big day sitting back there today.
First down on the 20 for the Eagles, who trail 28-16. Cunningham with time hits Calvin Williams up the middle. And Williams brings it out to the 40-yard line, maybe the 39, a pickup of 20 yards. Raymond on the stop. Getting much better protection is Randall Cunningham now.
Yeah, it looks to me he's most effective today when he's throwing down through the middle. Whenever he's tried to throw those deep outs and the outside balls, he's not been as effective.
Williams with 4 catches, having a big game. First down on the 40. Try to go to Joseph, with Corey Miller covering on the play. I want to remind you that at the end of this game, Matt and I will select a Miller Lite player of the game. The Giants, who were 11-5 last year, disappointing in preseason. I think the way it is now, you can throw preseason out because you don't know who's going full bore game to game.
Yeah, I don't think there's any question. You know, right now, nobody's played this long. This is the first time that these teams have played their regulars all season long, so you can take that first part and throw it out.
Second down. Cunningham, and just when we credit the Eagle offensive line, it breaks down. Michael Strahan, who the Giants are hoping will give them the pass rushing threat up front, gets the sack, and that's the 5th sack of the game by the Giant defense.
Yeah, Strahan comes back inside on Antone Davis. You see the stunt, they make the cross. Now what Davis does is he gets way too high and he gets up and opens his inside wide open. Strahan just attacks that inside shoulder and there's no way to stop him.
Michael Strahan, 270 pounds and a loss of 12 that time. It'll be 3rd and 22. Cunningham has Victor Bailey. And Bailey can't get by Beeman. Willie Beeman wrestles him down. And that will bring up 4th down, and the Eagles will kick it away.
Well, the sack just killed him, and prior to this, what's killed the Philadelphia Eagles have been a couple of penalties. You see Bubby Brister warming up on the sideline. Cunningham comes off.
In the game that Cunningham was hurt, Brister led the Eagles to a win over the Jets last year. Berger with the kick, and Meggett is going to let it drop, and it'll be down at the 15. 6:34 remaining in the fourth quarter. Kick went 52 yards. Strike or no strike, tonight Fox introduces a new major league team, the Pioneers, the most outrageous group of goofballs, screwballs, and oddballs ever to wear a uniform. Catch Hardball, a new comedy premiering tonight right after the season premiere of The Simpsons, part of Fox's Super Sunday. Giants start from their 15-yard line, leading 28-16. And Rodney Hampton is back in the game at running back. Hampton changes direction. What a great bit of running by Rodney Hampton. Picks up 16 yards, and you'd have to say he did all of it.
You forget that Rodney Hampton has the kind of feet in the hole that he does. You know, we talk about him being a big, strong guy, but just watch the feet right here. First, he makes the guy miss. Now watch right here. Boom, back outside. Now he's going to stop, get the feet back inside. You know, that stuff with great running backs you just can't teach.
First down on the 31-yard line. 79 yards rushing for Hampton so far. Hampton rushes for the 20th time today and crosses the 35-yard line, where William Perry greets him. A gain of 5 yards for Rodney. 84 yards on 20 carries and a touchdown. Hampton scored the first touchdown of the game for the Giants.
Well, you knew that the Giants always had Hampton back there in a good offensive line. And you knew if push came to shove, it was going to always get the ball into the hands of Rodney Hampton.
Second down and 5. Hampton, he gets a couple. It will bring up third down, and the Giants are chewing up the clock. Under 5 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter, leading 28-16. 1 point they led 21-3. Their lead was cut to 8, and now they have a 12-point advantage.
And speaking with Rodney Hampton, you know, I asked him, is there any place that you really feel comfortable running? He said, heck, yeah, I like to go behind Jumbo Elliott and William Roberts on that left side.
They're working on Randall Cunningham's left toe and icing it right now. Third down and 4 on the 37-yard line. And Brown takes it himself and is short of the first down, although the Giants feel with the extra reach he crossed it. Harmon and Evans on the tackle, so we'll see where they spot the ball. They're short. Maybe that's why we saw Bubby Brister start to warm up before, as Cunningham had a problem with his toe. Want to remind you that most of you will see the big opening game between the Cowboys and the Steelers, the defending world champions, with Barry Switzer and the Steelers, who are going to be a threat in the AFC this year. Some of you will see the Cardinals and the Rams.
And they're going for it on 4th and 1.
On their own 40.
They're going to get him to try to jump offside.
Delay of the game against the Giants, and they almost had it with William Thomas on the right side.
Had he one more hut, he may have had him.
So Dan Reeves will send his punting team in, and there's Otho Davis working on Randall Cunningham.
You know, I wonder if that's not from early in the game when they were going for the touchdown down there and his foot got caught in the turf. Remember, he came out and then he scrambled and he kind of took a dive, and I'm wondering if it's not now just catching up to him.
Mike Horan back to kick, and Jeff Seidner to receive. Good high kick, and Seidner at the 25. Doesn't reach the 30. And it was Keith Elias who made the Giants as a free agent running back from Princeton. Well, Cunningham comes out again for the Eagles and will return to Giant Stadium after this. Giant Stadium with 3:23 remaining. The Giants lead the Eagles 28-16. It was supposed to be the other way around, Matt Millen. The pressure on Brown, not on Randall Cunningham.
Yeah, you can see he was sacked 5 times and all the hurries and knockdowns. It's not been a comfortable day for Cunningham in that pocket.
Giants are in their nickel defense with 6 defensive backs. First down on the 30, and the pass caught by Barnett and wrestled out of bounds by Corey Raymond. Turf toe for Randall Cunningham is the word on him. And Mike Fox defensively for the Giants had a groin pull, and Stacy Dillard has been in there in his tackle position. First down for the Eagles. Cunningham looking. Flag is down. And going deep for Barnett with triple coverage downfield, but there's a penalty back behind the line of scrimmage.
And I think they're going to have caught Bernard Williams, that left rookie offensive tackle, with a holding call.
Holding, 74 offense, 10 yards, still first down.
You watch him right up here, 74. He'll get those big long arms on him, but once Strahan turns the corner on him, he gets the hook. See that right there? That's a hold. And he gets it up along his neck, and they'll call that every time.
The Eagle offensive line still needs some gelling to do. First down and 20 on the 31. And here is the direct snap to James Joseph. Tries to bounce away from a couple of defenders, and finally Willie Beeman is there. He's a hard man to shake, and a minimal gain on that play as the Eagles try some trickery of their own.
Willie Beeman's talking to him about something down there. He's laying on him chest to chest and sticking his face right in his face. Probably told him he need to brush his teeth in the morning.
Giants have been in the nickel since the start of the series. Second down and long. They complete it to Barnett, and Randolph will ride him out of bounds, and the clock will stop. Want to remind you that second half of our doubleheader, it'll be the Cowboys and the Steelers for most of you in a big opening game at Three River Stadium. Some of you will see Buddy Ryan's debut as head coach of the Cardinals against the Rams. Clock is running with 2:13 remaining. And this pass off the hands of Fred Barnett stops the clock at 2:09.
Remember I told you, and I'm pretty sure he has not been throwing that wide outside throw very well. I mean, he's been most effective inside the numbers. Whenever he's had to throw to the outside receivers on the outs, they haven't been down and they haven't been accurate.
It'll be fourth down and 3 for the Eagles. And the game could be riding in the balance right here. At least the Eagle hopes. Cunningham to run. And it's close. Jesse Campbell made a big tackle. And we'll see where they place the ball. The clock is stopped with 1:59, and we'll have our 2-minute warning coming up.
Well, if he got it, he could thank the fact that he's got long, long arms, because he just stretched that thing out as far as he could.
And the measurement will give the Eagles the first down because of Randall Cunningham's reach.
Yeah, he got that 37 sleeve. You know, if he'd been ordering 1835s, it would have been no good.
2-minute warning. Two teams trying to find an identity here with a lot of changes in this opening game, and the Giants playing a rookie quarterback and leading 28-16. Dave Brown with his first NFL touchdown pass. And Randall Cunningham trying to bring the Eagles from way back with 2 minutes to go. They have 2 timeouts remaining. Cunningham's pass to Victor Bailey. First down at the 30-yard line. And it's Philippi Sparks on the tackle, and the Eagles will call a timeout, leaving them with 1. Cunningham going to the sidelines, and we have some people we would like to thank for their efforts in this telecast today. Today's game was produced by Richie Zients and directed by Artie Kempner. The studio was produced by Scott Ackerson and directed by Bob Levy. The executive producers of Fox Sports are Ed Gorin and David Hill. Well, we're underway, partner. We got the first game just about in the bin on this new venture, Fox NFL Sunday.
It's been a long time in waiting. I'm glad to kick this thing off and get it rolling.
And the Giants trying to go 1-0, and they started last year 3-0 and 5 into the first 6. First down for the Eagles on the 29. Cunningham has to find Joseph. Joseph trying to get out of bounds, but he can't do it, and the clock continues to run as Jesse Armstead is there, a pickup of 8 yards.
Now this is where that ball that he's been having trouble throwing outside really becomes a problem, because you want to throw outside and get out of bounds and stop the clock.
2nd and 2. Cunningham going for it all, and he's overthrows Calvin Williams with John Booty defending, and back at the line of scrimmage there is a penalty marker.
Number 97 on the quarterback.
And it's going to be a penalty.
Half the distance to the goal, first down.
Unnecessary roughness
On Corey Miller. You watch Miller work back inside of Thompson. Now the rule this year is once the ball's away, you got to stop. The ball had left his hand, and Miller took the extra step, and they're going to protect that quarterback. Personally, I think that's a kind of a chumpy call, but they're going to call it.
Well, for a former defensive player, I'm not surprised.
Well, it's tough. I mean, you work back underneath off the tackle. You have everything going forward, and sometimes you just can't stop the momentum.
It is first down, and Cunningham fires, touchdown. Calvin Williams, who's had a big game as a receiver, and Randall Cunningham hits him to bring the Eagles closer with 1:17. Now this is interesting. It's now 28-22. Two points doesn't come into play here.
No, it doesn't, and you have good protection up front. Now just watch the tree. They split it outside. Booty made a mistake by looking back at the quarterback instead of watching the receiver.
Eddie Murray is in to try the point after touchdown, and the kick is good. So the Giant lead now is 28-23 with 1:17 to go, and the Eagles with 1 timeout left. Do I hear onside kick possibility?
Cunningham stands in the pocket with plenty of time, and it's just because of that time he can spot Williams getting open in that zone back there.
Alvin Williams, the big threat as a receiver last year with Barnett out of there. Caught 5 passes, has Williams, for 76 yards, and so the lead is 5. Coming up next, the Cowboys and the Steelers. Most of you will see that opening game between two teams that played in some very big Super Bowls a long time ago, and Arizona against the Rams for some of you. Coming up in the second half of our Fox doubleheader, the Giants are going to have their good receivers up front in case there is an onside kick.
It's their hands
by Mitch
team.
Berger.
Yeah, they call it their hands team.
They got Eddie Murray and Berger. And it's going to be Murray with the onside kick. And a loose ball, and the Giants have it on the Eagle 44-yard line.
I got to tell you, they had their opportunity. The Eagles had their opportunity. They did what they had to do. And then they ended up tipping that ball, and somebody's got to be there to get it.
Arthur Marshall ended up with the ball.
And watch it go up in the air. Now the first guy through is supposed to run through Kozlowski. Should have run through Kozlowski. Now the ball's in the ground. That's the opportunity they wanted. But Marshall does a good job of coming up with it.
So Marshall makes the recovery, and the Giants, with 1 minute and 15 seconds remaining, will run the ball out. The Eagles have 1 timeout remaining. And this is going to be a big thrill for Dave Brown in his first NFL regular season start after getting the nod over Kent Graham. Comes in against an Eagle defense. Bud Carson and all the blitzes stood up to them, and you can see how happy he feels, and the Giants heading for a victory today. And the clock stops, 1:13 to go as the Eagles use up their last timeout.
11. Opening play.
Scamper up the middle, but here was his big play today for the Giants.
You know, and the thing we talked about so often about Dave Meggett is he does the things that you can't teach. And that's making big plays. You know, some guys have big playability and some guys don't. And you knew the second that Meggett came into this league that big things were going to happen around him. And this is just another example.
The Eagles are out of timeouts. Well, the Giants, unlike last year, starting off with 3 divisional foes. They've got the Eagles today, the Cardinals on the road, and then the Redskins. And Dan Reeves knew that his team would have to win at least 2 out of 3 to really get off to a good start in the division.
Yeah, and he also knew that he was going to face 2 out of 3 defensive coordinators that were really going to test his young quarterback, Bud Carson and Buddy Ryan. And then he goes down to Washington, and they're going to throw some new things at him with Ron Lynn down there. He was concerned about that, but I think you got to say that Dave Brown passed with flying colors today.
And the Eagles, after winning their first 4 games last year, lose the opening game to the Giants. And they'll be playing the Bears on Monday night next week. Well, a standing ovation for the Giant defense. They came up a lot better than what it was anticipated.
Yeah, specifically their secondary. I think their secondary really played well with those young safeties. And then their linebackers came through for them, too. So 2 questions they had going in were answered.
Well, coming up next, most of you will see the Dallas Cowboys and the Pittsburgh Steelers, and others will see the Arizona Cardinals versus the LA Rams.